Namaste and welcome to our channel. So today we will be discussing with our guest about what is role of nutritionist in our day-to-day life and what are the myths we can get rid of in our daily life. So let's welcome Mrs. Matheen. Namaste, ma'am.
Namaste.
So, ma'am, coming to the part of our daily life. So many people are now discussing about diabetes as a major concern, obesity as major concern, and many people want fat loss treatments. And there is a news in the newspaper saying that people going for a fat loss surgeries are increasing day by day in our society, especially in India. So, what is that someone can do for the fat loss, or if someone is obese? When do we call a person obese, or when do we need that such treatments? When is that a real necessity to go for a fat loss treatment, or we can manage it through our dietary solutions as well? Just share your opinion on that.
So if somebody is overweight, which means if they have a BMI above 25, BMI above 25 is considered as overweight up to 28. So anything above 30 is considered as obese. So if you cross a BMI, body mass index of 30, that is considered as obese. Now earlier, when I was starting my practice as a dietitian long ago, so we would only see patients who come in for bariatric surgery, which means to reduce the amount of fat in the body. We would see such patients only if they had a particular condition. Let's say, for example, if somebody has diabetes which is totally uncontrolled, they're not able to control it through diet, through medication, those patients would be advised to go in for these kind of surgeries because that would help them to lead a healthier lifestyle. So we would see those kind of patients. But nowadays it has become some kind of a fashion. Anybody and everybody is going for surgeries for fat loss, whether they require it or not. Now, some people are okay with it and they go ahead and they lead healthier lives. But there are definitely side effects if you do not take care properly after surgery. Because you do know that there are various kind of surgeries out there in which there is stapling of intestines or stapling of stomach or reduction of the intestines or reduction of the part of the stomach or whatever it is. So you need to make sure that you pay attention to the amount of food you eat, even the type of food you eat. You're not able to digest all kinds of foods. So unless it is interfering with your health, I would say you do not really need to go in for any kind of surgery for fat loss. If you're slightly overweight, you can control it with your diet. Even obese individuals, we have seen and we do control their diet, and we do make diet plans for them in which they are able to come back. So if you ask me, I have seen patients, youngsters who are above 110, 115 kilograms, and by following a proper dietary plan with proper monitoring and all that, just by diet, they have easily come back into the frame. They're no more obese. They are slightly overweight, but definitely they have much better quality of life now.
Okay, ma'am. Coming to the next myth, the major myth in the market today is usage of leather seats. People say if you are stick to the leather seats for the whole day, you might get attacked with hernia and other intestinal problems, or what you call it. So, what is that myth, ma'am? Is this myth really true that we should not use the leather seats for long period of time? And does that restrict people traveling for long distances in car on a leather seat? Is this a really a true thing, or it's just a myth that is created on the social media?
Well, I would say that it's not only leather seats. I would say that if you are in a sitting position and in a wrong posture for an extended amount of time, that is what is causing the problem, not the material of the seat itself. So if you are in a seated position, you know that you are having restricted movement. So you are sitting in that position, in that same position for a long period of time. So that can be an issue. And also, if you do not move around a bit and you do not have enough water, if you do not follow proper dietary habits, that will also cause a problem. That will also cause an issue. It's not only the material of the seat. It is the amount of time that you are spending being seated and the posture and the position in which you are sitting.
Last question, ma'am. Nowadays, we see a lot of gym trainers saying that you should not exercise on daily basis. Even if it is 45 minutes, you need to exercise for 3 to 4 days max, and then you need to rest your muscles. Apart from resting your muscles, if you are involved in high intensity training, they suggest taking creatine. So, what is this relaxing part, ma'am? I heard from you like 45 minutes a day is very good for a normal person, but now people are coming up with new theories in the market saying that if you do a high intensity workout for half an hour, also it's suggested you do for alternate days, or you only work out for 3 days or 4 days. So, does this high intensity workout and the schedule what they are suggesting, does this truly make difference, ma'am? Is it necessary for a normal person apart from the celebrities what we are speaking today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're into heavy exercise, if you're into high intensity exercise in which you are doing very difficult strength training or doing a lot of heavy weights and things like that, definitely you do need to rest your body. That is why it is generally recommended to do it on an alternate day basis in general. But if you're doing it continuously, that means you are working your body so hard that you need to give time for the muscles to relax and get back to their original uh,
Position or
the
posture.
original position, or to get back or to retain their original shape, because muscles are elastic, right? So they need to get back to their original form. So you need to give time for that to happen. So that is the reason, if you are working out continuously at a stretch, let us say you're doing 3 days at a stretch of high intensity exercise, then definitely minimum of 24 hours is definitely required for you to rest your body. But if you're doing normal medium intensity exercise like jogging, running, or even low intensity exercise like walking or whatever it is, even aerobics, Zumba, all these are medium intensity or even high intensity, depending on how the trainer makes you work. So, depending on that, you can take a call. You do not really need to rest the next day. You can rest for some time during the day and you're absolutely fine. Because as a human body, as a human, your body should be able to reach that level. You should be able to deal or cope up with that amount of activity. Because if you are not able to do that, then let us say that you are in some kind of a high pressure situation or a high stress environment. Let us say, I'm just giving you an example. Let us say you are in an aeroplane and your aeroplane is not taking off for hours together. I'm just giving an example, okay? So let us say you're stuck in the aircraft for 2 hours, for more than 14 hours or something without the plane taking off. That's a high stress situation. So at that time, it doesn't involve any physical activity, but you are under a lot of stress. So which means that you will not be able to cope up if you are not used to doing any kind of, this exercise rest kind of a scenario. That is the reason why they say when you're doing any activity, immediately don't do something else immediately. Anything. Like you may have heard our forefathers say that after you come back, after running and jumping, what do they give you as soon as you come back home? They ask you to sit down, wash your face first, sit down, have a glass of water. Because the heart is totally worked up. After any kind of activity, any kind of exercise, it has reached a high level. It is not your normal 72 beats per minute. It is beating at a higher level, which could be 120 beats, it could be 140 beats. That's why you may have heard in the news of youngsters, especially youngsters who have been over exercising and collapsing in the at the treadmill itself or in the exercise center itself, in the gym itself. That happens because they do not know that their heart has reached that level. They have not given the time that the heart has told them to stop, or the brain has sent the signal to them to stop the exercise, but they did not stop. They went on exercising because they thought, oh, I have to reach that goal. I have to exercise another 10 minutes more or 15 minutes more, and they end up collapsing.
Ma'am, the final question is related to yoga. So many of we people, whenever we talk about yoga, it's a normal tendency. People hear about breathing exercise a lot. So we have different types of pranayam in yoga. We do different types of postures and other things, but basically it's mostly concentrated towards breathing exercises. Now, many people say that yoga is only good for your internal organs being healthy, but for the external part, yoga never plays a good role. Like your body doesn't get fit by doing yoga. Is this a truth or a myth, ma'am? Can you just confirm? Like doing, they do different kind of postures, including the breathing, but basically there are people in the market that say that yoga is only good for your internal organs working functionality. It develops the functionality. If someone is having a more heartbeats per second, it controls the heartbeat, it reduces the hypertension, it reduces several other things. But what about the external body, ma'am? Is yoga do help or doesn't help in external body fitness?
Well,
Uh,
if you ask my personal opinion, I would say that yoga is definitely helpful because yoga pays attention to breathing. And when you're talking about breathing exercise, any kind of breathing, so even when you do any kind of exercise, whether it is aerobics or whatever, there is always a warm up. Then you have an exercise activity for about 20 minutes or so, and then there is a cool down. So basically, the cool down will be to focus on your breathing. So the breathing is very, very important. And when you do breathing exercises, any kind of breathing exercises, you need to inhale for certain amount of counts, and you also exhale for a certain amount of counts. That is what is generally done. So yoga actually helps your breathing to be stronger. And when your breathing is stronger, it means that your lungs are going to expand properly, because when you are expanding your lungs properly, you're able to get in your air properly, and when you get oxygen into your system, it is going to reach all various areas of your body. And you do definitely know that oxygen is carried by the blood, right? So definitely I would say that I would vouch that yoga is definitely helpful. And when you breathe properly, you're making sure that all your organs are working properly, your hormones are working properly, which means the various systems in your body are working properly, which means your circulatory system, your heart, your nerve system, your brain, your also your digestive system, your stomach, liver, intestines, that is also going to be working properly. So when you are making sure that all these systems are working properly, your metabolism is working great, obviously your brain is working, your body is working. So which means that when your organs are working well, what does it mean? Healthy mind leads to a healthy body. So definitely it will help you to ward off diseases, because if your lungs are healthy, that is first and foremost. If your lungs are healthy, it can be a big deterrent for any kind of a disease or a disorder.
Okay. So let's end this session on a positive note, ma'am. So we had heard about a normal person's dietary concerns. You had shown different quantities of meat, how much meat one person should consume as per their palm, and different things. So people who are interested in mindful eating, do see this video. You will get a lesson on how to manage your mindful eating when you are worried about certain parts of your food dietary requirements. And we have got a very good replies from our guest today. So I thank you for your time, ma'am. Let's meet once again.
Thank you so much. Thank
Yeah.
you. I hope this will be helpful.